The New York Knicks are still the favorites to land Donovan Mitchell. Let's discuss. What up, ballers? Welcome back to the bar. My name is Barry. I will be your host today. If you like basketball and you like bars, make sure you smash up that like button down below. Please share this video with all your favorite NBA fans and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We put out fresh NBA content almost daily, and we are live here on YouTube every single Wednesday night for Wednesday night parties. All right, let's go ahead here and jump into today's video. The major news today, RJ Barrett signs a contract extension with the New York Knicks worth up to $120 million. This complicates the pursuit of Donovan Mitchell for the Knicks. We had heard RJ Barrett was a main piece in these trade discussions. It does not seem to be anymore, but I want to talk about why I believe the Knicks are still the favorite to land Donovan Mitchell. First off, in other news, Donovan Mitchell goes ahead and removes any mention of the Utah Jazz in his Twitter bio. Before his Twitter bio said, "Be humble, former Louisville guard, Utah Jazz guard." Now he just changed it to "Be humble." What does this mean? I'm really not quite sure. I'm sure he is tired of being involved in trade rumors after Rudy Gobert was shipped out just a few months ago for a huge package. The writing has been on the wall for Donovan. The Utah Jazz are intent on rebuilding, and I don't think he is in those plans. So what they can get for him is going to be the biggest thing here that we need to consider. What do they want to complete a rebuild? This is an article posted here by Bleacher Report, and they're discussing two different deals now that could potentially happen to bring Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks. Option one would include trading RJ Barrett. They would obviously have to wait here a little bit to make this happen, but this could be potentially a three-way deal where they send a guy like Evan Fournier to the Spurs. You send Barrett, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and first-round picks to the Utah Jazz. The New York Knicks currently have 8 first-round picks that are tradable, including multiple picks from other teams, some that are protected. But this is why I believe the New York Knicks are still the favorite to land Donovan Mitchell. They are intent in competing, and they have a ton of first-round draft picks, which I think is the most important aspect for the Utah Jazz currently. Is if they're going to rebuild that squad, they need to have young players and draft picks. And then let's look at option number 2 here. This would be Mitchell to the Knicks, Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, and Quentin Grimes, and 6 first-round picks / pick swaps to the Utah Jazz. This brings in 2 young players in Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes, a ton of first-round picks. I know, maybe Julius Randle might not be the guy that the Jazz ultimately want. However, he could fetch them additional young players and draft assets from another team. So this option 2 is not as far of a stretch as you might think. Here's another article posted by Sportsnaut. 3 reasons why the New York Knicks trade for Donovan Mitchell is far from dead after the RJ Barrett extension. They say RJ Barrett's importance in a deal is greatly overstated. Here's RJ Barrett's stats, career stats, and last season. He had a very productive last year, 20 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. He didn't shoot extremely well, 40% from the field and 34% from three-point range. Obviously, you'd like to see those numbers improve. I think the Knicks really like this guy. They brought in Cam Reddish to play along with him, a former college teammate. I don't think the Knicks really want to trade him. So it's really up to the Utah Jazz whether they can make a deal with some of these other young players and draft picks. Reason number 2 by Sportsnaut, the New York Knicks still have what the Jazz want, and this is exactly what I was alluding to earlier. This is all the first-round draft picks that the Knicks currently have, along with some of those young players. And yeah, the Knicks have a bunch of other worthwhile assets, and that's Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, and all these other players that have value to a rebuilding team like the Utah Jazz. Let's take a look here and see what the New York Knicks have as far as draft picks. They have the 2023 first round draft pick from Dallas. This is protected next year, picks 1 to 10. I think this will obviously convey Dallas has improved. They brought in Christian Wood. Luka Doncic is going to be getting better. I think there's no way in hell the Dallas Mavericks are in the lottery next year. So I think this pick does get conveyed. I think it will be a mid to late first round pick. Then you have a 2023 first round draft pick from Detroit. This is protected 1 to 18 in 2023 and 2024, and 1 to 13 in 2025. This is a sticky one because I don't think Detroit's going to be good. So I don't think they're going to convey this pick this year or next year. Potentially, they don't even convey this pick until 2027, and it becomes a second round pick. So this might not be as valuable as it does sound being a Detroit first round draft pick. Then they have a 2023 first round draft pick from the Washington Wizards. This is protected selections 1 through 14. If Bradley Beal can remain healthy this season, I think Washington does have a chance to make the playoffs, which would mean this draft pick would be conveyed. So potentially the Knicks have 2 first round draft picks that they can trade this year, along with multiple second round picks and some pick swaps, along with their own future first round picks as well. Let's take a look here at the Knicks roster. They do have a lot of young players still here. They brought in Jalen Brunson. Obviously, he cannot be traded so far. They just re-signed RJ Barrett. Then they have some of these guys, a veteran like Evan Fournier, another young guy in Quentin Grimes, Hartenstein they just picked up from the Clippers, Emmanuel Quickley, another young guard that's been playing extremely well, Julius Randle, as I mentioned. They brought in Cam Reddish next season, Mitchell Robinson for the center position, Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin. So even if they were able to trade and make a deal for Donovan Mitchell and give up a ton of these young players and draft picks, I still think they'd be able to remain competitive. I think they definitely can hold on to Jalen Brunson, so he's going to be starting at the point guard position. You'd have Donovan Mitchell starting at the 2 guard. I think RJ Barrett starts at the 3. I think that's 3 fundamental foundation young players that you can build around. And then bringing in Hartenstein helps them. I think Mitchell Robinson will remain on this team. He's a young defensive-minded center. I think they will have to give up Obi Toppin and potentially Julius Randle. So that does leave some openings at the 4 position. But as you know, in the NBA, it's all about getting those top 3, 4 guys and then filling out the roster after that. I do think this would be a much improved Knicks team with Donovan Mitchell. The only concerns I really have would be on the defensive end of the floor, having 2 small guards, Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, how that potentially could work out. But I think they have an amazing coach, and I think they could develop a system to make this thing successful. One last look here at the NBA trade machine. I think this is the deal that would make it happen. Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and a bunch of first round picks and pick swaps. This works out financially. I think this is an incentive for the Knicks and for the Utah Jazz and helps them both go on their paths to success. I want to hear from you all down below in the comments. What do you think about this deal? Do you think the Knicks are still the favorites to land Donovan Mitchell? Or do you think there's potentially another team involved? I want to hear from you, so let me know down below. Also want to remind you all, I am giving away a $250 Fanatics gift card. All you need to do is click the link at the end of this video and follow the simple instructions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next video.